Okay. The Mohandas Gandhi, the Mahatma Gandhi, he was the greatest leader in India. One of the greatest leader in India. And he studied about the life of Hussein and his sacrifice, and he said these words. If India wants to be a successful country, it must follow in the footsteps of Imam Husein. And if I had an army of 72 soldiers like Hussein, 72 soldiers of Hussein, I would have won freedom for India in 24 hours from British. The great word of Mahatma Gandhi. He said, if I have the same 72 people like the Hussein had, who want to give their life for Allah, if I had this kind of 72 people, I can get the freedom for India from British in 24 hours. There are many scholars. One of the great scholars of this time in 20th century, Nelson Mandela, he also learned from the sacrifice of Hussein. The Nelson Mandela said, I have spent more than 20 years in prison, in Robben Island, prisoned by British government because he speak against the British government injustices. I have spent more than 20 years in the prison. Then on one night, I decided to surrender by signing all the terms and conditions of the British government. But suddenly, I thought about Imam Husein and the Karbala movement, and Imam Husein gave me strength. His story gave me the strength to stand for the right of freedom and liberation. And I did. And what happened after that? The Nelson Mandela, he continued his revolution, and he get the freedom for his people from British government. There is one Christian leader, Anthony Barra. He said if Hussein was Christian, we would put a flag and minaret for him in every part of the earth and call the people to him. They said if the Hussein was a Christian, we can make him a god to worship him. But of course he is a Muslim and he is a believer and he is the grandson of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And in fact the Prophet Jesus was also a Muslim. And the sacrifice which Christians thought that Jesus was given on the cross, it was not given by Jesus anymore. Because he prayed to God, please pass the cup if it is your will. So Jesus Christ, even he was a prophet of Allah, he doesn't want to be sacrificed, not that he feared with the death, but he doesn't want to be sacrificed in a way of a criminal. Because if he put on the cross, he will be in the eyes of the people like a criminal. Because it's like a death penalty. So he prayed to God to please pass the cup if it is your will. And then in the Bible said his prayer was answered, means he was not crucified. But the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Hussein, he gave the sacrifice. He did not back down from the sacrifice for Allah, for Islam. Not just he, but all his family given the sacrifice. Some of the family members were also killed, martyred, shaheed. Then others were become captured, captive, prisoned for several months. Also Mahatma Gandhi said, I learned from Hussein how to achieve the victory while being oppressed. In the eyes of the people, the Hussein lost the war with Yazid in the battlefield. 20,000 versus 72. The people can think that Hussein lost, but he did not lose. He won. He achieved the martyrdom. He became Shaheed and his family. And everybody loves him until today. Not only the Muslim, even the non-Muslim loved him. There are lots of non-Muslims, they speak very good about Hussein. And nobody have a respect for Yazid. There is a scholar named Edward Brown. He said about the Karbala, the battle was happened for the success of Islam against the tyrant. A reminder of that blood-stained field of Karbala, where the grandson of the Prophet of Allah fell, at length tortured by thirst and surrounded by the bodies of his loved ones, murdered, has been at any time since then sufficient to evoke, even in the most lukewarm and the heedless, the deepest emotion, the most frantic grief and exaltation of the spirit, before which pain, danger, and death shrink to unconsidered trifles. One of the leaders from Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the world is unable to present an example of finer and brighter than personality of Imam Husein. He was the embodiment of love, valor, and personification of sacrifice and devotion. Every Muslim should seek guidance from him. The famous British Orientalist Edward Brown. Is there a heart that may not brim with grief and sorrow when it's heard about the Battle of Karbala? Even a non-Muslim also cannot deny the cleanness and the purity of the Muslim war, the Islamic war. Very popular scholar Thomas Carlyle, English historian and philosopher, the best lesson which we get from the Battle of Karbala is the Hussein and his companion were rigid believers in Allah, in God. They illustrated the numerical superiority does not count. They illustrated that the numerical superiority does not count when it comes to the truth against the falsehood. The victory of Hussein, despite the minority, despite they were very few, only 72, marvels me, makes me happy, makes me admire the greatness of his victory. Even in the eyes of the people he lost, he gave his life, but he is victorious until today. Washington Irving, the American author, it was possible for Hussein to save his life and his family, of course, by submitting himself to the will of Yazid, the tyrant king. But his responsibility as a reformer did not allow him to accept the rule of Yazid because it was injustice rule, it was monarchist rule. He therefore prepared to embrace all sorts of discomfort and inconvenience in order to deliver Islam from the hands of the tyrant. Under the blazing sun, on the parched land, and against the stifling heat of Arabia, stood the immortal Hussein. Immortal indeed. Immortal means he's not died. Allah said, those who die in the way of Allah, don't call them they are dead, they are alive. They are alive in paradise. The Irving Washington, American writer, he said again, on a burning sun of deserted land and the heated sand of Iraq, Hussein's soul is immortal. Oh my hero, my paragon of braveness, oh Hussein. These are the non-Muslims speaking about Hussein. Edward Gibbon is very well-known scholar. Imam Hussein's sacrifice is for all groups and communities an example of the path of righteousness. Thomas Carlyle, a Scottish historian, in the history of Islam, the life of Hussein stands unique, unapproached and unapproachable by anyone. Without the martyrdom, Islam should have been extinguished long ago. So Islam is standing because of the martyrdom. The people give their life for Islam. And one of the great person who give life, the Prophet's grandson and the family of the Prophet Muhammad, they all give their life for Islam, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hussein, he was savior of Islam, and it was due to his martyrdom that Islam took a deep root, which it is neither possible nor even imaginable to destroy now. In a distant age and climate, the tragic scene of death of Hussein will waken the sympathy of the coldest reader. So even those who are cold-blooded, they can be also wake up and to think, who was this Hussein? It is very dishonest that the Muslim Ummah, which is divided today in Sunni and Shia, and in the Sunni, who are in big numbers, more than 90%, and among the Sunni, the seldom is speaking about Hussein. It is a dilemma, it is injustice. That very seldom in the communities in the Sunni, very seldom they talk about Hussein. It is wrong. If you can analyze from Adam until today, from Adam, Prophet Adam, the first human being, until today, we can never get the example of sacrifice which was given by Hussein and his family, the family of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is no such example. Just one word of Hussein, one word. Okay, I surrender to Yazid. Let me go and my family. Okay, I accept Yazid is the king. I accept him as a king. Just one word. He can say to the army, okay, I am surrendering to Yazid. Okay, Yazid is right. I am wrong. Let me go back to Makkah. Only one word, and he can save his life and life of all family. Do you have any example like this? If you are only one person and somebody say, you deny La ilaha illallah, say you don't believe in La ilaha illallah, then I will not kill you. And you might say, okay, I am not Muslim, I am kafir, don't kill me. So you are a very weak person. But if you are strong, no, I will not give up La ilaha illallah even you kill me. So what the Hussein want to say, I am not accepting the Yazid rule because it is not the rule of Allah. And the meaning of La ilaha illallah, there is no one has power to rule except Allah. Because the Yazid rule is not the rule of Allah. And Hussein rejected that. And he knows if I accept this rule, then I am against Allah. So he did not surrender to Yazid. He gave his life of his family, his sons, his nephews, his brother, his cousin, his nephews, his friends, everyone was slaughtered, beheaded. Not just slaughtered, their head were cut. Even his son, 1 year old, Ali Asghar, was shoot arrow in the neck. And he was bleed and died. Without water for 3 days. We make fasting only daytime. Their fasting is continuous, 24 hours. 3 days and 3 nights, no water, no eating. And they are fighting against the army of thousands. 72 with women and children versus thousands of army, 22,000 or maybe 30,000. And they are not giving up. They are not surrendering. They are fighting against them. Because it is fight between evil and right. It is fight between the truthful and falsehood. It is fight between Islam and the system which is not Islam. As I said, usually I started with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he started to give the da'wah la ilaha illallah in Makkah, then he migrated to Medina after 13 years. Then in Medina, the Makkah people attacked him and they have a first battle, Battle of Badr. Now the leader of Medina was Prophet Muhammad and leader of Makkah was Abu Sufyan. And the Prophet won the war. And Uhud, it was like balance. And then Azab. And then Hudaybiyah. Sulh Hudaybiyah. And after Sulh Hudaybiyah, the Muslim became strong. And on the Fatah Makkah, the conquest of Makkah, the Prophet Muhammad entered to Makkah with 10,000 army. And he forgiven the Abu Sufyan. So Abu Sufyan lost the war with Prophet Muhammad. And the Prophet made the khutbah in Makkah. And after the Prophet died, because there is no monarchy, that the lineage, the blood lineage should take over. It's not allowed in Islam. If there was a lineage, they had inheritance, then after Prophet Muhammad should be the Ali Khalifa. But there is no lineage in Islam. So who became Khalifa? Abu Bakr Siddiq. Everybody accept him as Khalifa. Then after Abu Bakr Siddiq died, he appointed Umar as Khalifa. Everybody accepted Umar as Khalifa. When Usman became Khalifa, everybody accepted him as Khalifa. And the people who killed Usman, then after that Ali took over. Then the governor of Sham, the Syria, the Muawiyah, he refused to bay'ah to Ali. There were other people who refused, but they accepted. Like Talha, Zubair, they all accepted, and they accepted Ali as Khalifa. But the Muawiyah, he rejected, and he made the reason that you should take the revenge of Usman. Then I will make bay'ah. And Ali said, no, you should bay'ah first, then I will look for the killers. And that is right, because you should give the power to the Khalifa, then Khalifa can find the killers of Usman. So Muawiyah rejected the bay'ah, then Ali went to war. And who is Ali? Ali is a grandson, son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, cousin, and also son, because Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he grew up Ali young age. So the first batch, Muhammad ﷺ fought against Abu Sufyan. In the second generation, Ali fought against Muawiyah. And in the third generation, Husein, the son of Ali, he fought against son of Muawiyah, Yazid. So when Muawiyah was surrendered by Ali, Ali surrendered Muawiyah. They almost lost the war, and Ali was supposed to finish them all. And the Muawiyah, they raised the Quran. The Muawiyah army, they raised the Quran. Said, make the judgment with Quran. And Ali stopped the war. And the Khawarij, they warned Ali that if you stop the war, it's not good. You should finish Muawiyah now. And Ali said, no, I cannot, because they want to judge with Quran. Then finally the Khawarij, they killed Ali. In Masjid in Kufa, they attacked on his head, and then he was shaheed, martyred. And after Ali, the last Khalifa, because Prophet said the Khilafah only 30 years. And if you compute the 6 months of Hassan, who became Khalifa, the son of Ali, the brother of Husain, 6 months, then it becomes 30 years. So Muawiyah was no more Khalifa, he was a king. And how the Ali, the Hassan, he became Khalifa? Not because of inheritance, not because of the bloodline, but because the Muslim choose him. The Muslim choose Hassan to be Khalifa, because he was the best person to be Khalifa. When Hassan became Khalifa, and there was a war between Hassan army and the army of Muawiyah, because there was no solution of Khilafah yet, and that time Hassan stepped down and gave it Khilafah or the rule to Muawiyah, with the agreement that Muawiyah will not make inheritance the rule to his son Yazid, and there will be no cursing of Ali, because there was the Umayyad, the dynasty, they used to say bad word to Ali, and there was an agreement by the Hassan to Amir Muawiyah, the Muawiyah, that nobody speak against Ali. And there were some other treaties inside there were other conditions inside the treaty between Muawiyah and Hassan. So Muawiyah took over and he rejected the treaty. After the Hassan was poisoned and martyred. It's not clear who killed, but the beneficiary is Yazid, because if there is no Hassan, the Muawiyah can give the rule to Yazid. So Hassan was killed with poison, and then before Muawiyah died, he go against the treaty, he put the Yazid on the throne. And Yazid was not eligible. First he was not Sahabi, and there were many Sahabi, like Husein, Abdullah bin Umar, Abdullah bin Zubair, Abdullah bin Abbas, the son of Abu Bakr. There were many Sahaba. And Yazid was not Sahabi, and he was not righteous. Yes, he's against Islam. And his rule was not justice. He had a corruption. And one of the corruption, he bring the monarchy. That the father is a ruler, and then the son become ruler, same like in Middle East today, which is against Islam. It is not allowed in Islam that the son will take over the rule of his father. It's against Islam. So Muawiyah, when he took give the throne to Yazid, many Sahaba, they refused to bear their pledge. Like Abdullah bin Zubair, Hussein bin Ali. There were Sahaba who rejected. And when Yazid was forcing the Hussein to bear, he migrated with his family from Medina to Makkah. And in Makkah, he decided to go to Karbala, Kufa in Iraq, because there were letters from the Iraq that people want to pledge to him, and they want him to stand for the fight against the Yazid and to bring the Khilafah. Because there is no Khilafah. It was a kingdom, it was monarchy. And the Hussein, he want to bring back Khilafah. Khilafah means you are no more king. You are only serving the people. You are the servant to the people. You are not, you cannot live luxurious life. You cannot abuse the wealth of the people. Rather, you give all the equal rights to everyone. But the kingdom is different. Kingdom has abuse. You live in a palace, you have a protocol, you spend the money for your luxury life. It is against Islam. If you live the life of Abu Bakr, Siddiq, Umar Farooq, Usman Ghani, Ali al-Murtaza, they live simple life. They never abuse the Baitul Mal. They never live the luxurious life. They live ordinary life. And with justice, with the law of Allah, the Quran, and with the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. So Hussein want to bring back the Khilafah. That's why he's fight against Yazid. He fought against Yazid. He did not surrender. And then the 10th night of Ashura, which will be tomorrow night, will be the 10th night, and then Monday will be the 10th of Ashura. Night time he gathered the 72 people, the family, the friends. And he told me that they want to kill me. They are against me. They are after my blood. So all of you can leave me. And he extinguished the lamps, so no one can be ashamed to leave. No one will be embarrassed. So he shut down the lamps, and he wants people to leave. But whole night nobody left him. Not even one person. Everybody want to be killed in the way of Allah. Nobody say we will go back. No. We will be with you and we will die with you. That's what the Mahatma Gandhi said. If I have soldiers like Hussein and his army, if 72, I can get the freedom for India from British in 24 hours. Because these people want to give their life for Allah. They want to die for Allah. So morning, the battle is start. One by one, his people go in the battlefield. His friends, his sons, his son Ali Akbar, his nephew Qasim, his brother Abbas, they all go in the battlefield. They fought with thousands of army, and they one by one they were martyred. And they were thirsty and hungry. That's why what I make ishtihad, like when the family of the Prophet Ibrahim, they sacrificed in Makkah, and then the wife was running between the mountains, and Allah wants us to run between the mountains in Safa Marwa. So I make the opinion that if the family of the Prophet Muhammad was hungry and thirsty for 3 nights, 3 days, 3 days, that 8th, 9th and 10th, Ashura. So we can do the same 3 days because we are fasting 3 days every month. So we can do the 3 days, 8, 9, 10. That's why we are fasting today. Until the time when the children were hungry, the young children were hungry, thirsty. Even the small Ali Asghar, 1-year-old, is thirsty. So Abbas, the half-brother of Hussein, he went to Euphrates River. He wanted to drink water. He did not drink because he was ashamed. He needed to bring water to the women and children. Even though he's not drinking water for 3 days, he did not take even one sip of water. He put the water in his skin and he go and fighting with the evil people, killing them until they cut one of his arm. He hold the skin with the left arm. They cut his left arm. He hold the skin with his mouth and he run towards the camps to bring water to the families. They shoot the arrow on the skin, water skin, and water face spill, and he was martyred. And then Hussein, he come with his son Ali Asghar. He asked them to give him the water. He is not going to fight with you. He's only 1-year-old. At least give him water because he's in pain. But they shoot the arrow, and then Ali Asghar also was martyred. And the next was only Hussein. His sister Zainab, he helped him to ride the horse and let him go in the battlefield. He killed many, many people there. And he was attacked by the people with more than 100 wounds in his body. And one of the evil person, he beheaded Hussein, the son of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, grandson of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He beheaded him, and after all the bodies were run with the horses. And they get the heads of the Ahl Bayt and the friends, and they get the women, all the women, they remove the hijab, they put them in the chain, and one of the son of Hussein was not killed, Zainul Abidin, Ali, because he was sick. They chain them all, bring them to Abu Ziyad in Kufa, and the heads of the Hussein and all the companions, and then from Kufa they bring them to Sham, to Yazid, to the palace of Yazid. And there, the Zainab, the sister of Hussein, he cursed them. Then Yazid, he sent the army to Medina, the battle of Harra. The Sahaba were killed and the Sahabiyat were raped in Medina. Then Yazid sent the army to Makkah, to people to force them to bay'ah to him. And he burned the Kaaba, his army. During that time, the news came that Yazid was killed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is two riwayah. The one that the horse ran him away and he was killed. But what I prefer, the riwayah which I think it should be the correct one, that the Yazid got sickness, and even how many water he drink, he cannot quench the thirst. Until his stomach is bloating. His stomach very big. He keep on drinking water and he died with that condition. La'natullahi alayhi. May Allah curse upon him. May Allah, the curse of Allah, the curse of the angels, and the curse of all the believers upon Yazid. La'natullahi alayhi. So that's 8 o'clock now. That's what I can speak in the love of the family of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. If you don't love the family of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, then we don't love Prophet Muhammad. And if you don't love Prophet Muhammad, you have no love of Allah. There are lots of saying about the Prophet's family by Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He said, no one can love Ali except the believer, mu'min. And no one can hate Ali except the munafiq, the hypocrite. So if we love Ali, then we are a believer. And if we hate Ali, then we are munafiq, hypocrites. The Sahaba said, if we see somebody hate Ali, then we can have a sign that this person may be munafiq because he hate Ali. The Prophet said, the Hassan and Hussein, they are the Shabab Ahl al-Jannah. Sayyida Shabab Ahl al-Jannah. They are the leader of the young men of Jannah. Everybody in Jannah is young, but those who enter in the young life, they will be the leaders, the Hassan and Hussein. And Fatima, the wife of Ali, the mother of Hassan Hussein, the daughter of Prophet Muhammad, she will be the lady of Jannah. There was a time when Muawiyah, he commanded Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas, who conquered Iraq, who conquered Persia. And the Muawiyah, he commanded to Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas, who was uncle of Prophet Muhammad. And he said the words in Sahih Muslim. Ma mana'aka tasabbu Abu Tarab. Ma mana'aka tasabbu Abu Tarab. What stops you to say bad word to Ali, to Abu Tarab? That is not my word. It is a word in Sahih Muslim. Ma mana'aka tasabbu Abu Tarab. What stops you to say bad word to Abu Turab? Abu Turab is the name of Ali. Prophet said him Abu Turab, the father of dust. Because one time he's sleeping in the masjid on the dust, and the Prophet went to masjid and he said to him Abu Turab. And the Ali radiallahu anhu, he loved this word. He wanted to be called Abu Turab, the father of dust, because he was sleeping on the dust without any thing, no bedsheet, anything. Sleep in the dust, and the Prophet give him the name with love, Abu Turab. And what does Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas said? I will never say bad word to Ali. What I heard from Prophet Muhammad sallam, the three things, if even one of that is I have, then it's better for me than the red camels. Better than everything. And he said the three things about Ali. He said when the Prophet was going to the battle of Tabuk, and he left behind Ali, and Ali was not happy. He came to Prophet Muhammad sallam, that's why you not bring me to the battle, the Tabuk. Why you leave me with the women and children? And the Prophet said, are you not happy? That your example to me is like Musa and Harun. Like I am Musa and you are like Harun. Except that there is no prophet after me. But the Musa and Harun were prophets. And the Prophet gave the example of Musa and Harun for himself and Ali. And the second one, the Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas said to Muawiyah, when battle of Khaybar, the castle, the fortress of Yahudi, which was not able to conquer, it was very difficult to destroy the gate. And Umar tried, other commander tried, nobody can successful. In the night time, the Prophet said that tomorrow I will give the standard to the person who love Allah and Messenger, and Allah and Messenger love him. And whole night, all the Sahaba were anxious. They were thinking, who is going to be that person? If I'll be this person. Everybody want to be honored that he will be that person on tomorrow morning. And in the morning, the Prophet call Ali. And Ali has something problem in the eyes. And then he put some, his lu'ab, and then it was okay by the miracle. And he gave the standard, and he sent the army with Ali. Ali went to the Khaybar, he destroyed the gate, and the Khaybar was conquered. And the third thing he said about Mubahila, when the Prophet Muhammad was challenged to the group of priests, the Christian priests, and he told them about one God, and when he did not accept it, then the Prophet said to challenge them that they should come with the families, and the Prophet should come with the family in an open area, and curse of Allah upon the liar. And in the morning, the Prophet went with his family, but nobody came there. The priest did not come with the families because they are afraid, because they are not truthful. The Prophet was truthful. And when he went to that place with who? Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein. And he said, Allah, you are my witness. That's my family. Ali, the wife of Ali, Fatima, Hassan and Hussein, the grandsons. And the Prophet, he loved his family. He said, Hussein is from me and I am from Hussein. And this is very shameful for us. And Ali has something problem in the eyes. And then he put some, his lu'ab, and then it was okay by the miracle. And he gave the standard, and he sent the army with Ali. Ali went to the Khaybar, he destroyed the gate, and the Khaybar was conquered. And the third thing he said about Mubahila, when the Prophet Muhammad was challenged to the group of priests, the Christian priests, and he told them about one God, and when he did not accept it, then the Prophet said to challenge them that they should come with the families, and the Prophet should come with the family in an open area and curse of Allah upon the liar. And in the morning, the Prophet went with his family, but nobody came there. The priest did not come with the families because they are afraid, because they are not truthful. The Prophet was truthful. And when he went to that place with who? Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein. And he said, Allah, you are my witness. That's my family. Ali, the wife of Ali, Fatima, Hassan and Hussein, the grandsons. And the Prophet, he loved his family. He said, Hussein is from me and I am from Hussein. And this is very shameful for us. We are not discussing all of this. We must discuss this. Not just in the day of Ashura or the time of Ashura, but all the year we must give this example for us. That the life is for sacrifice for Allah. So may Allah guide us, may Allah forgive us. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.